All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Yes and. I am your boy Leo, aka Brooklyn Libra. Follow me on Instagram.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Line. You can follow me on all the social channels, like except Snapchat, because I don't really get on there like that anymore. But at London Reeves, hit me up.
Hi everyone, it's me, it's Corey Face, it's Corifa, whatever you want to call me. But follow me on all social media platforms on Corey Face.
And I am Philip. You can follow me only on Instagram at Philip Wilsdale because I don't do social media like that. But I'm getting there.
At least you're social with us. That's what matters.
Right.
Exactly. And I do have Snapchat, but I don't even remember the name of it.
So, happy belated 4th of July to everyone. How was everyone's 4th of July?
I'm still tired.
Oh my God, talk to me.
Very much so. Let me tell y'all, like I love y'all dearly, but baby, hosting is a job.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all do it so well.
Yeah, I know, honey.
Y'all, because you don't.
Right. You're gonna have to start hosting some more too. But yeah, it was good though. I just never thought that I would host 2 things in 1 week. But yeah.
You did, right. You did it with grace.
Like, oh my God. But yeah, it was real fun. I loved it, especially the fireworks. But then, I went on my little what is that homeowner app? Child, they were just lighting. They was like, oh my God, somebody's just doing all these fireworks. Da, da, da. I was like, ooh.
They said they didn't say your neighborhood had gunshots.
Oh. No, baby. No. But I wasn't tripping because I was like, I paid my HOA dues, so I can do this.
Well, I had some family members come. It was great. Like it was like a recharge that I needed, although they wore my ass out. It was good seeing my family and hanging out, and it was a great weekend.
That's good.
Lots of drinks and food and laughter.
Yes.
I definitely need a detox after the weekend. It was. I feel like it was just back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
Very much so.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a great weekend. So, as per usual, we've got a bunch of things to talk about, and I'm kind of excited. Well, not excited, but I'm kind of really eager to not only get you guys' perspective on these topics, but to see what the audience has to say in the comments. Because I think we might ruffle a little feathers with some of these topics. So first thing on the agenda, Miss Macy Gray. And
I don't walk away and choke. Something like that.
I feel like whenever I hear her name, I instantly laugh and be like, okay, so what she done did now? Like
exactly, because she's on her own planet. That's exactly what I said.
Her whole own planet.
I do like
somewhere
the way
high.
she talks, though.
I love the way she talks, and I think she's an amazing artist.
Can I ask a question?
But her voice is cool.
Did she ever come out saying she did drugs? Cause she gives me like.
She's a weed smoker who enjoys a Xanax.
There you go. Thank you, Philip.
Okay. Yeah, because she's like real spacey outish. And it's like more spacey outish nowadays than when she first came out. But yeah.
Well, speaking of spacey outish, I think a lot of people think her latest remarks and comments were a little spacey outish. I don't even know what word is that, Corey?
It's in my dictionary.
What is that?
Dictionary. We're waiting on it to come out.
So basically, Macy made a comment in regards to, she was on doing an interview, and the host asked her what her thoughts were as far as trans women embarking into the quote unquote female sports industry, and if she felt that was fair. And Macy's remark, her response got a lot of backlash, and her response pretty much was, I have the utmost respect for the LGBT ABC. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't keep up with all the acronyms. I do apologize. But I have so much love for the community, and I have no hatred towards anyone. And if you feel and identify as she, I will call you she, because that is what you identify as. However, basically from an anatomy standpoint, you still a he. So from the perspective of a transsexual being allowed to compete against those who are naturally born female is not fair. In her eyes, which I get it, I respect the fact that you want to be identified as a woman. And I will respect that and I will call you a woman. However, your anatomy says differently. You went out and bought some titties and you cut your thing off.
No.
I mean, now she didn't say it as
Oh
vulgar
my
as
God,
that, but
Leo.
that's what you did. And for me, I'm gonna sit and say I 100% agree with her. Because at the end of the day, yes, we can feel like we may have been born into the wrong body. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that the body you were born into is genetically male. And as much as I am all pro women, it's a natural fact that men are naturally stronger than women. Now, even though there's some big bulk brolic chick that can bench press more than I could possibly even imagine, and she would toss my little self around. But from a competitive standpoint, if I was an athlete, as a man, it would not be fair for me to compete against a woman just because I went and bought some titties and got a nice BBL. So I'm gonna just lay that on the table. And what you think? I mean, what you think, London?
I have so much to say because I was on the fence about it for a while. And I say that for a couple of reasons, right? And I'm gonna do my best not to go on and on. Like, I've seen teams of like youth, right? Youth and teenagers, males and females playing on a team together, whether it's like basketball, flag football, volleyball, whatever. So I feel like there are certain sports that there can be like males and females on, so gender shouldn't matter. But then I also like in my mind was just thinking like, okay, what about a sport like tennis? I'm a male, but surely, and to your point, Leo, like I don't think there's many men who can go against Serena Williams on a tennis court at all. I don't think there's many men who are going to run up against Sha'Carri Richardson on a track. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I just sit down and like, baby, you got it. Just give it to her.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Right.
So for me, I think it's just a situation of, well, what is the sport? Because I would never say that a woman isn't as strong. I can't say a woman isn't as strong as a man because I mean, we've seen moms lift cars because their baby was trapped up under it.
Exactly.
So I think it depends on the situation and even specifically on the sport. Like, would I want to see a woman running up against a 300-pound linebacker or whatnot on a football field? Probably not. I don't know if it would
Not
be
at all.
but they could, be just as athletic and strong and fast as a man. But I wouldn't want to see Caitlyn Jenner competing in like, I don't know. It's just I feel like it's circumstantial, yo. I do.
So okay, I'm gonna table my question. I wanna see what Philip got to say.
Nothing.
They
about to cancel me before I even get started. Shit. No, but to your point, I do agree. I feel like your body is what you were born with. Parts can change. People change their faces, they change their body, they change all that all the time. But what is it? The anatomy of your being is always the same. The outer parts that we may see or that you may, because there's gender reconfiguration surgeries and things like that. You still may have a level, you would, to lose it, there's testosterone. Oh, how you say it? Testosterone?
Testosterone.
Something like that.
No,
And
Corey,
estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to modify something to be considered something else.
okay.
So with that being said, whatever your body naturally does is who you are. That's all I got. Like if you want to be a woman, you have to take more estrogen or hormones or whatever, If you want to be more masculine presenting, then you now have to take testosterone shots. It's not what your not naturally what your body does. So to that point, I agree with what she's saying. No matter what, you are still whatever you were born into. What really matters is how you feel and how you identify at the end of the day, but as far as like playing sports and on sports teams, no, like keep that shit separate. It's cool. Everything don't have to be like, so people are too damn sensitive. And that's why I'd be like, I ain't gonna talk. Cause I'm sensitive, but not about certain things. I'm
Right.
like, we have to like draw the line somewhere. Okay. We are
Mhm.
very inclusive as a community, as a America, but it's like, dog, you got to draw it somewhere and keep it there. And that's it.
So part, and Corey, I know you gotta have a comment, but I think part of it, especially when it comes to like the professional sports, men are paid at such a higher rate than what the females athletes are paid. And I think that's where the discrepancy really comes in at, or the issue really most comes in at. Like, surely you want to play amongst your friends, right? But I'm like, Lisa Leslie was like a legend. Candace Parker, a legend. Swin Catch, legend. Like, I can name WNBA players, and I don't even watch WNBA. But the fact that they were getting paid like a fraction of what a bench rider in the NBA was making is absolutely ridiculous to me. So I get why some would want the sports to merge, because they don't get the same endorsement, sponsorships, airtime, even playing in the same arenas as their male counterparts.
That is true.
Corey?
I think, and I agree with everybody on this. And I think the thing about it is, what Macy Gray said, it really didn't offend me as a gay person, because literally she was just saying that you can't really be a true, real woman unless you actually have go through the birthing process. And I understand in regards to our gay community, yes, when you are transitioning to be a female, you do take hormones to loosen up the masculinity in your figure and also in your body. I just feel that some things as a community, we just have to that's their opinion. Because everybody's going to have an opinion. We live in a world, when we was growing up, my opinion. Yeah, like Joe didn't like you or Susie didn't like you. That's their opinion. But we're not going to be like, oh my God, let me go protest because Joe and Susan didn't like me when I was in elementary. Like, I think we're just a little bit too sensitive nowadays, on not just in the gay community, even with Black folks. Like, certain things, okay, we shouldn't get offended by. Yeah. Because we get so sensitive about every little, because we're living in a world, quote unquote, that's free. So people are going to have their opinions. Now, if you agree with their opinion, that's a different story. You can have that discussion, but don't be like, oh my God, you're canceled because you done said your opinion out loud. Yeah. And so I really didn't feel like Macy Gray really didn't say anything wrong. She just said, yeah, as a woman, as a quote unquote real woman, yes, it's birthing. That's where I come from. But even though you're a transgender, yes, I'm still going to address you as she. I'm not going to disrespect you. And she said that in her commentary. Mm-hmm. And I, maybe people will come down on me too, but it's just like, I don't like the name drop, but like T.S. Madison and the Hope Giselles and I forgot her other name, Flaming somebody, but she just always ride the boat anyway. But especially Hope, and she just like, I know you're an advocate for gay rights, but sometimes to pump your brakes. Like she's like, I just Google her, you can see her. She's real adamant about gay rights, and I support whatever she's doing all the way, because most of the stuff she does say is accurate. But with this topic, you should have just been on mute, because it really didn't need to be causing this much of a flare. And I feel like when we add fuel to something that's so little, then it blows the hell up. Just like how Lizzo's situation, when she said spaz in her lyrics in her recent song that she released, and people that had disabilities, they was in an uproar. Okay. Oh, you offended us. Like, everybody said,
that's right.
that what you call them, the Generation Z.
Yeah, probably so. And it's like she's Lizzo, she know her audience, so she changed the lyrics. But that's to me, it's just like we live in too much. We live in a world that is too sensitive, like too sensitive. Back in our day, motherfuckers will call us faggots all the damn time. We'll fight.
What?
So I mean, well, I know that's what I heard in back in my day, honey. But it's just like we didn't do no protesting. We did what we had to do and kept it moving because we were gonna have opinions at the end of the day.
I think what I guess frustrates me the most is that these social media platforms were created for a space to be or people to come and speak what they want, voice their opinions, things of that nature. And I hate to use this word, but sometimes I feel like some people in our community, we're quick to make ourselves be victims. You know what I mean? Like we're quick to make ourselves be victims when it's not that serious, it's not that deep. Like no one disrespected you. Like the woman clearly acknowledged that she has all the love and respect for the community. She will identify with whoever wants to be identified as she, they, them, even though she did say the whole they, them, this now is a little confusing, which is hell, it's confusing for me. But I still feel like there was no negative intent behind what she was saying. And I know y'all have all heard me say this before. I'm very big on intent. Like if you know there was no ill intent, why is you acting crazy? Like why is you acting crazy? Like you were blown this way out of proportion. I could be having a drink. Like let's do something else.
What they be said? Make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yes.
Yep. That part, that thing right there.
Got that right.
And that's literally.
I just want to add real quick though. I don't consider myself a sensitive person. Like I like let stuff go, but I have realized I'm more conscious of when I feel like there are undertones of like racism. I want to just make that sure I point that out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I started to notice like little subtle, little things, little comments that get made, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what made you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you feel like that was okay for you to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But just wanted to throw that. I don't think it's always that we being sensitive or people are sensitive. I think sometimes people just like slick and be passive aggressive with stuff too. But I think with Macy Gray, again, she's entitled to her opinion.
Ultimately,
I was going to say, like, what just happened to opinions?
Yeah.
Ultimately, what it boils down is to what the lady said. It's all about anatomy. Okay. Now, speaking of anatomy, recently Roe versus Wade got overturned, and a lot of people, myself included, think that has truly pushed us back several years. And as a man, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like to be a female. And you know what? We all get horny, okay? Now I done went and fucked what's his name last night. Now I don't even know this man's last name, but I was feeling a certain type of way last night, so I gave him some. Now I'm pregnant. I don't want this baby. I don't know this man. I just having fun.
Yeah, I thought you was telling the truth about yourself for a minute. I was like, nah, he gonna go that deep.
I'm just saying, like, right? My heart goes out to every woman out there because I feel like nobody should have a choice taken away from them. Everybody should be allowed to make informed,
your own decision. How you gonna tell somebody what to do with their body? That's simply put. Like you can't tell somebody, like you don't know what position that they're in. And there's already so many people who are like having babies and things like that. They're just destitute. They may not be even emotionally prepared for that. Like I always say, millennials are just innately toxic people. So I can imagine anybody that comes after us, like what the hell?
Yeah.
So like you have to be fully equipped to have a kid and bring them into this world that we live in. So if that's your choice, that's your choice. That's your decision. Nobody can judge you for that. That's you.
I also think too, the people who are making the laws aren't affected.
All these gas prices or something.
Like I think the people who are making these laws, they can afford to like travel, catch a plane, go out of country, go to a different state.
Leave the kids with the nanny.
And it is those who can't, and then people end up trying to expose their baby father, or one of the baby fathers on Instagram because they only bought one McDonald's meal for their youngest child.
That part.
and the government ain't trying to support. Like when the food stamps run out, was the government going to replenish with more? No. So
That
if
part.
this person's fault now that they don't know how to manage their money, but you would allow them to have abortions, like no man, just no man, no person, woman or man, should be making decisions on somebody how someone else
I
governs
agree.
somebody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because like Leo said, you never know what a person going through. Like I never wanted to experience it, but I had a friend of mine where she wanted me to go with her. I was like, oh girl, this is a lot. Because they had a lot of protests. They literally, it all jokes aside, it was like protesting outside. And it was somewhere in off of Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. And the building is actually, it's a tall building, but the actual clinic is up high. So it's not on the ground floor. So you have to actually go up steps. They got a security man at the bottom. And literally it's quiet because you know what everybody is there for. So it's a process, but again, you never know what people are going through with a slip up. And so I just feel like if you take that away, what bigger issue is, what's next you're going to take away? Because now you're talking about gay rights with gay marriage that you're looking at to overturn. What's going to happen with voting rights? What's going to happen with Black folks? Like now, like this right here, this was in 1972, I believe, when it became a law, a constitutional law, and it's like we messed with that for many years, but now y'all want to overturn it. Like, what's going to be next that we didn't mess with for many years that's going to affect people like myself that is Black and also gay?
Well, I think even for me too, my thing is like the why.
Yeah.
Why is it back on the docket?
Right.
For Clarence Thomas, Supreme Justice Clarence Thomas, he's married, he's in an interracial marriage.
You mean Uncle Tom?
Marriage was against
You mean Uncle Tom?
Oh, Uncle Ruckus, Uncle Tom.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I refuse to call that man by his name.
You know, it don't make sense. It's like, I go back to, again, people creating laws for stuff that don't affect them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just makes no sense.
I think, ultimately, the biggest thing out of all this, at the end of the day, no woman should have their choice taken away from them. But I'm thinking about like that woman that was date raped, that woman that had, just raped in general.
Yeah.
Now is forced to carry this baby and constantly be reminded about this heinous event that happened to her. Like, to me, that is just mind blowing. Why is it that deep for you to allow someone to go through that? But what it all stems back to is they feeling, white people feeling like they have to reinsert a certain level of control. And they've been losing a lot of control. And this is one of their ways of gaining control back.
But do y'all know also what year this is?
Oh yeah, it's the same year that we became free.
No, this is election year. It's election year. Republicans
trying to get everything turned over to get that vote back.
They're trying to win back them seats that they lost when Biden got in office. This is all political. Even with our governor Perdue, all that he's doing is all political driven. This is election year. Whenever election year comes around, major things happen that people do not connect that to election year. And it's always like that. And that's why you have to be mindful and you have to go out there and vote, because they're going to do things to entice people that may be on the teeter-totter of the Democrat or Republican or independent that they're trying to sway to get those seats back.
Speaking of voting and enticing, so there is a young Black female current sitting senator out of Rhode Island who has been trending because she came up with a Go Vote campaign catered to the new generation, and my girl got up on her head and started twerking
Yes.
And vote, go vote, go vote, go vote.
You better
she-
twerk.
And she has
Like on her head, like pussy popping on the handstand on the head.
yes, she could have been. Listen, the city girls need to audition. She need to audition
On the
for one of the
beach.
city girl videos
On the beach.
On the beach.
in a bikini.
Yes.
And her body was right.
She could be
Where,
on.
where was this again?
She's a senator out of Rhode Island. She's actually
Oh, she got my vote.
black, the youngest senator in Rhode Island.
Yes, ma'am.
She
So-
won, huh?
She received a lot of backlash, especially coming from other Black females, in which they felt like she disgraced us. She kind of set the movement back. My thoughts is,
She's an
one,
innovator.
I think it was innovative and very smart, right?
Mhm.
Because at this day and age, we're trying to capture a different audience to get them out there to vote, which is the younger generation. They're not about to sit here and watch debates. Well, some will, but a lot of them aren't out here tuning in and seeing and watching the debate to see what the topics are. So she figured out a way on how to get their attention, right? But what was classic to me was her responses to a lot of the backlash. And it was given very much, okay, but this Ivy League degree sitting on my wall says I definitely made strides. The fact that I'm still a current sitting US Senator, I'm still that girl. So all this you talking, it's not making it, the math is not mathing. So what y'all think? What do y'all think? Do you think she set the Black girl movement back? Or do you think she did what needed to be done?
I think it's very progressive. I think it's a lot. But I also think why I would think it's a lot is because I'm accustomed to seeing those in office look very stuffy. So simply put, like she just did what had to be done. We talking about her. I don't live in Rhode Island. I ain't never been there. Don't have no desire to go. But I probably know who she is, you know, because of that, and probably follow her to see what she stands for and how she talks about herself, like her things.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like I think back to like elementary school, right? When we just started getting introduced to voting and we had class officers and the person who said they will get milkshakes for the cafeteria is the one that you voted for because I like them, they're gonna get us milkshakes.
Yeah.
So like one, I have to remember your name when it's time to vote. Again, we don't live in Rhode Island and we talking about her, right? So remember the name. But two, and I believe because of how well the twerking skills were, I mean, she was literally on a handstand on sand, okay? And did not fall. And she was getting it, right? So I feel like it was real, it was authentic. We want to see that, especially when people want to see like, oh, you're not just this stuffy person, right? That's what we're used to. And these people who are making these laws that we don't even want to agree to.
Relatable.
Vote for somebody who I can relate to. Exactly. Who's doing the same stuff I'm doing, who can turn it on when they need to and turn it off and turn up when they're ready to. So it was genius marketing. Everybody gonna remember her name.
Yeah.
Agree.
And I mean, that's the same thing with when Obama was running. He catered to our generation. Our generation, we grew up on those magazines we put on the wall with our celebrities, 106 in Park. Guess what? He had every celebrity under the sun was promoting for Barack Obama. And guess what? All of our generation was out there voting for Barack Obama. So you just cater to whatever generation that you are living in at this present time. So yeah, twerk it up, honey. I say twerk for Jesus, twerk for the election, period.
Not twerk, I'm not twerking. But you know what? So speaking of generations, and you know, her whole premises was to, you know, attract this new Gen Z crowd. It makes me think about a conversation I was having with some friends via group chat. And as y'all know, a group chat can get real spicy, right? So I had everybody knows like I am like Mr. Corporate, like that's me, it's not a problem. So I was telling them about an experience to where, you know, basically I feel like this new generation has no they have no get up. Like there's certain things that I feel like I was taught that they're not taught, and there's no ambition, there's no drive. They just feel like everything should be handed to them. Like, you know, I had a girl show up for an interview with me one day, and my girl walked in with jeans, some Crocs, and a big Slurpee cup chewing ice. I'm here for my interview. And in my head, I was like, woohoo, not me. Interview lasted all but 2 minutes. And my girl at the end, I kid you not, ended it with, I'm gonna like working here. And in my head, I was like, working where? Because baby girl, you ain't, the next time you step in here, it'll be as a customer. Good luck to you. And the pushback I got was that this new generation is pushing the envelope. They're not settling and tolerating what our parents instilled in us, which was there's no exceptions. You got to go to school or get a good job, or if not both, right? But to me, I feel like if that wasn't instilled in me, I would not be who I am today. Like it was made very clear to me, nothing is given to you. You have to work extremely hard for every single thing you want. So for me, it's like this new generation, I just feel like they lazy. Like, so what's y'all thoughts? Gen Z, well, millennials versus Gen Z. It was the pause for me. It was the pause.
I think that Generation Z were brought up just completely different than what millennials were. Like they were
having
born
kids
with technology in their hands, right? Like it's probably very few of them who can remember playing with groups of friends outside in the neighborhood versus on game consoles or just simply on their phones or their parents' phones or their iPads. So everything's been instantaneous for them versus them having to really like do work, in my opinion. But I also think at the same time, there are some of them who are going to be like the game changers and world leaders, or who they will have to be. Some we can't hold the seats forever.
100%.
I agree. They have access to so many things that we don't have or that we didn't have at their age.
Yeah.
So it has to work out. I mean, I feel like at some point we were all irresponsible kids, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. So irresponsible is one thing, but they be talking back and stuff, and I don't know how that is. Like I don't say I don't talk back, but fight them like, like it's just a different world. I don't even understand why they got on hoodies and it's 95 degrees outside. Me too. Like they're just all types of weird, but the children are the future. So what are you gonna do? Like they are very spoiled, but so were we. I think that we were just given, like you said, Leo, we had to go to school, we had to go to work or something like that. But the thing that I do enjoy that they receive is a lot more freedom to go after what you want to go after, whatever that is, and you have that support. I think that that's a beautiful thing because they have access to so many things, i.e. the internet, where they can see that they can do whatever they want to do and make it happen versus going by the book. Yeah. So it's like a catch-22, but I hope they figure that shit out.
You know, I guess, and I will admit a huge part of my frustration comes from today's music. Like, I feel like any one of us can be an artist right now because there's all these different streaming platforms. So you don't even got to like the song, but the mere fact that you downloaded it, I just made
I got them vocals too, so I'm sure I'll do well.
I mean, but can we again point out Macy Gray is known, and I'm sorry, I just didn't.
Macy, listen, she has a unique voice, but you gotta also think about her artistry. Like, she's also a writer. Corey. Her songs. I walk away and I stumble.
Listen, some of y'all favorites can't sing, so we're being honest.
Baby. So baby,
we're gonna come up with K. Michelle neck, okay?
So we
not a now name. I just said some of y'all favorites. That can go to anybody. Our viewership. We appreciate you, but I'm sure somebody that you enjoy probably can't sing to the next person. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, valid point. So I guess we will leave it at the end of the day, just like, what was that song? I can't even remember the song, but the verbiage was pretty much like, what Michael Jackson song, The Children Are the Future?
Yes.
I thought that was Whitney Houston.
Oh, that is Whitney Houston.
Is that Whitney Houston?
I believe the children are our future.
It is Whitney Houston.
Teach them
Rest
well.
in peace, Nippy.
Oh,
Rest in peace,
Nippy.
Nippy. Rest in peace, Nippy.
Corey, you know you like my voice. You know what? I ain't gonna hold you. I'm tired of people hating on my voice. I know I got the vocals that you catch them, that you hear them. They modulate, I don't know, they just good. I'm sick of it. And these gas prices, but move on.
Okay.
I ain't gonna hold you, but I just want my feet rubbed on at this point. It's a good day.
Had a long day.
Okay.
Well, I ain't gonna hold you, honey, that homeownership is for the motherfucking birds. My air conditioner went out, and that's when I really realized I was a homeowner because I had to come out of pocket over $600. So yeah,
It's a blessing to have it.
Yes.
it is. But baby, sometimes it's a curse. Leo.
Well, my ain't gonna hold you is gonna be a repeat. I ain't gonna hold you. Unfortunately, we had another shooting this past 4th of July. And I ain't gonna my ain't gonna hold you is a two-part. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm tired of these
30
fools
seconds.
running after
Put him on time, baby, because you know he'll go in. He'll go in,
Because
baby.
y'all know we don't go talk.
Listen, secondly, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm tired of us getting shot 60 times, but them being
That's
able
real.
to shoot up a whole bunch of people and make it out in handcuffs.
And they can tell the story. You know what?
Yeah, that's
My
true.
name is Philip. Please follow me on social media, Instagram, Philip Will Self. Thank you guys.
Check me out, London Reeves. Thanks, y'all.
It's
It's your
Corey
boy Leo.
Khalifa.
Follow me, Brooklyn Libra. We'll see you guys next time.